Hi, welcome back. On this video here, we are going to be learning about one of the most important components of PHP, loops. And loops allow us to repeat code until a certain condition is met. You see, a loop will go around and around and around multiple times, executing the code in between the curly brackets until a certain condition is met. Very similar to the if statement, but more powerful. So let's go ahead and learn how to write the syntax, and let's learn how to use it. We're going to start with a very simple loop called the while loop. All right, so let's go ahead and open our code editor and let's do a save as on the blank.php. All right, let's call this while loop underscore loop. There we go, and we don't need that. All right, so let's go ahead and let me just change the title here and just go while loops. Why not, right? Let's do this on the browser. Let's open it up. Perfect. All right, so how can we write the syntax of a loop? Let me just expand this so you can see. The loops are very similar to if statement. All we have to change is the keyword if in an if statement for the keyword while, and we already have a while loop. Very simple. Look at this. So let's say we have an if statement like this. Let's first write our PHP tags. I don't think this is gonna work without it, right? All right, and let's close it down here. And we say that space really doesn't matter. This is just to make it clear for you that that's what it is. So let's change the keyword for while, and as you can see here, my code editor already highlighted the keyword there. So while this is true, while it is, all right, we're gonna repeat this. When it's false, we're gonna stop. So for example, very simple to do. Let's say while, I don't know, 4 is less than 10, I want you to keep repeating yourself. And what are you going to be repeating? I don't know. Let's do an echo and say hello. I don't know, what was that? Hello, students. All right, and that's not hello. It's unbelievable how this word is very close related, right? Well, not close related, but how you can just write a bad word there and you can write a good word right here with another, which is like preview arrow. So we're getting an arrow here. Oh, okay, I see what we're doing. You see that? I'm going to explain to you what happened here. All right, we created an infinite loop, and just because my code editor is already executing this code when I save it, so we got to watch it with brackets and saving that, right? So let's just go ahead and take that off. All right, now I'm going to show you right now what happened. All right, so while 4 is less than 10, we're going to keep executing, but the problem is that 4 is always going to be less than 10. That's why you saw the code there on the browser going crazy. We just saw a lot of words there. That's because the loop kept going and going and going, and it never stopped, because 4 is always going to be less than 10. So this condition here will not be met. What we need to do is change the 4 every time we go around the loop. So the loop will go like this. We first start here, right? It will look at this and say, okay, perfect. Apache will look at it and say, all right, we have a while loop. What's the condition? And then we give it the condition and we say, hey, listen, Apache, as long as 4 is less than 10, I want you to keep executing whatever is in these lines, right? This is Apache talking. Right, we're talking, PHP is talking to Apache, right? So now Apache is going to be processing this, and it's going to be giving us this every time it goes around. So the loop starts here, and we go to the next line, and we print it on the screen. Then it will end right here, and then we go around again. It will look at the condition again. It will still be false, and then we'll come back here and print this over again until this condition, until 4 is bigger than 10. When 4 is bigger than 10, then it's going to stop. But like I said before, 4 is never bigger than 10, so we never stop. This is called an infinite loop. All right? And we can't write it like this. So what we usually do for a while loop is that we create something called a counter initializer, counter or initializer, whatever you want to call it, for the loop. All right, so we replace this for that counter. We start the loop at 0. So this is what counter variable. We can name it whatever we want. We can name it I for initializer if we wanted to. Really doesn't matter. I just wanted this to be descriptive for you. Okay, descriptive. So counter right now is 0. So we're saying while this counter here that's equal to 0 is less than 10, I want you to keep writing this code. So that's still an infinite loop. What we need to do to stop that infinite loop is that every time we go around before the loop finishes, we need to increase counter to 1. All right, plus 1. So we're going to add 1 to it every time it goes around. So this is how we add 1 to a variable. This is one way of doing it. So I hope you see what this is doing. This is outside the loop. We have a counter, right, of equal to 0, and we're saying here, as long as this counter, which is equal to 0, is less than I want you to keep executing the code. So it goes here, analyzes this, and goes to the next page and prints this out. And then it goes to the next one and says, okay, it grabs counter, we write counter again, we add 1 to it. So now counter is going to be equal to 1. It's going to go here, it's going to go up again. Now it's saying while counter, which is 1 now, is less than 10, all right, execute this. So it's going to execute it again, and it's going to add another 1 to counter. And remember, counter is already equal to 1. Now with this extra 1, it's going to be equal to 2. And it's going to keep going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when it reaches 10, then this is not going to execute. Since 10 is not less than 10, then the loop will stop. So this will stop. All right. So right now, if we want to see it when it stops, all we have to do is print it on the browser, and you see what I mean. And there we go. All right. Hello student, hello student, hello student. All right. 9 times. Now, let me show you the shorthand version of this, of adding this 1. This is so common that there is a shorthand version for it called right here, the increment operator right there. Same thing as all that code that we had. See that? And I'm just going to leave it here, comment it out so you can see it. Just going to comment that out, and I'm just going to write the real one right here. Well, not the real one, but the different one, the shorthand version. That way you have this in your exercise files. There we go. Okay? So now what I want to do is I want to show you, and now I don't want to echo hello student. What I want to echo is the counter, just to show you what happens. Look at that. The counter starts at 0 and goes all the way to 9 and then stops. Because then when it goes to 10, it says, oh, no. It's not equal to, then it stops right here. It doesn't go and prints out 10. If you wanted to print out 10, then you say as long as the counter is less than or equal than. So when it gets to 10, it's going to print it out because it's equal. Look at that. So it prints out 10. It prints it out. Right? Very simple to write the while loop. On the next video, we're going to be discussing about another loop. All right? So anyway, hopefully you were able to learn a lot on this code and on this video, and you can see the power in this. We can, for example, use a while loop to go through a paragraph or some type of database and say, while this user is equal to this, I want you to check the user and do this to the user. As long as this paragraph is read, I want you to go through every folder I have on my server and check for a picture. This is why we use loops, to do things multiple times, repeatedly. Without a loop, we will have to copy and paste 1,000,000 times to get things done. All right. So loops are very powerful, and if you learn the loops, you're gonna be very, very comfortable with PHP. Anyway, on the next video, we're gonna be discussing more about loops. Take care.